Yeah, hi. This is Vikram, and I have a very simple productivity agent that I built. I spend a lot of time listening to YouTube videos and podcasts. Takes me anywhere from half an hour to 45 minutes to listen to one of them. And at this point, I just don't have time to listen to all the ones that I want to. And so I was wondering if I could use Gen AI to just summarize a podcast and then just create a quick report for me. And so I wanted to build an agent in AnyQuest that would basically do this for me. And so this is a very simple podcast summarizer agent. Again, it's not like anything complicated, but the fact that I could do this myself is something I'm pretty happy about. So the agent is an expert at summarizing podcasts and YouTube videos. If you now think about GenAI prompting, this is the persona I'm giving the agent. Then I basically ask it to upload a link to the podcast or YouTube video. And then after that, I was being lazy here. I was like, how do I summarize a podcast? What are the key things I should be looking for? I didn't feel like telling it to go look for, you know, who the key speakers are, what their backgrounds are, and stuff like that. I was like, why not just use Gen AI to do that? And so I said, go identify 8 areas that anyone listening to a podcast or a YouTube video should review. Then I basically pass those 8 areas and I pass the YouTube video to this generate task where I basically say, use those 8 key areas from Gen 1 here, generate a report that summarizes the YouTube video in start 1. So from the YouTube video, using these 8 areas, generate a quick report and then store the report in this podcast summaries video. The very simple agent. The UI is very straightforward. It's a drag and drop UI. And so now if I just click on run, and then if I go pick the podcast and I go back here and then click run, what it's basically going to do is, and you can see it's running, but I can show you one that already ran. It basically went and said, when listening to a podcast, 8 key areas: introduction, main topics and themes, key points, personal stories, expert insights, practical tips, any interaction, conclusion, recap. And then it basically took those 8 things and talks about, what Frank Growth Podcast is about, what the main topics are, what the key points and arguments are, any kind of personal stories. And in like, 5 minutes, just scanning through this, I feel like I have a good idea of what the discussion in that particular podcast was without having to actually go and listen to it. And then it kind of, outputs it into a folder. So if I did want to, I could go look at my podcast summaries, and there is the output that I have that I could, if I wanted to, could email myself or whatever it is. So that is a very quick demonstration of how I used AnyQuest to build a podcast summary.